Hello, GMAN Division 5B. It is I, your recap of GMAN Milk, once again joined this week by Dr. Hep.
Hello.
Well, that is, what, Game Week 5 is now the one that's just ended? Yep, Game Week 5, we're going to Game Week 6. Here is your recap, here are the scores, here are the fixtures. 2-1 victory for Zarat versus Mego. So finally the Skaven have a win on the board. That isn't just like a 1-1 or a 2-2.
Yeah, right. He didn't win it versus me. Never mind.
Yeah, so good job, Zahu. Well done on that.
He won versus me, so he has 2 wins now.
Yeah, oh yeah, he has 2 wins. Well,
yeah, he bloody freaking beat me by 4-2. I was like, I can't remembering that wrong.
Yeah, it's like, after so many games of 1-1s and 2-2s, I kind of forgot that happened.
He fucking beat me by 2-1. What are you talking about? Great. But congrats to the win, though.
Congrats on the win. He's also got 2 important level ups we'll talk about later. Mego obviously having a hard season, because he's like constantly having to rebuild, especially after last week where he lost the Wolf. And he keeps getting like SPP and Kaz's on zombies, which is the worst thing.
Yeah.
We see this week another storming win though for the High Elves, this time beating Bottle Plop's Dark Elves.
That High Elf team really is doing well right now. I think it's in a sweet spot for our division, where it shines because it's like too much TV for most of our teams to handle, because it's really efficient TV, but at the same time it's not giving up enough inducements for us others to like beat it, you know.
Definitely, and there's a lot like with High Elves, it's definitely a team where they can get, say, it doesn't matter if you have a wizard against them, because they don't have to play in such a way where a wizard could be devastating for them. They have the mobility to stop you from getting around them. They have the sort of the agility, so they don't have to like cage up. And all you could do really is go for, say, a chainsaw, or go for a dirty player merc with bribe and that kind of thing. And even then, because you have like blodge here and there and a few star players, it won't really cut it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a great team in general.
Yeah, definitely. And Bottleplop struggling a bit, unfortunately, but it can happen. Dark Elf teams, although are a tier 1 team, can be kind of hard to play because of what they like don't have at the beginning. They only have that like 4 block usually, and without the dodge and all that, without having efficient blitzers, things can go quite badly, especially with 2 rerolls. Usually with every like traditional Dark Elf build.
Yeah.
The next one is a 1-0 victory for Hounds of Nagash, the Undead team, versus Innovation's Nurgle team.
Yep.
Not crazy of a result. That kind of happens.
I kind of expected this to be a bash fest.
Yeah.
And looking from the blocks, it kind of was.
Definitely was. It was like a very bash fest kind of result where like one team bash can't get around though and fails, but the other bash team bash, probably because of the movement that the Undead have over the Nurgle, probably like managed to turn that corner a bit better and then sneak in their
I mean, I see also a 4 yards passing done by the Undead team, so I guess that pass might have
that's 4 yards passing for the other team, for the Nurgle team.
Oh, for the Nurgle team?
That was probably like a anti-pass, I think, at the like...
Yikes. Okay, never mind then. I thought it was like, oh, they did a pass, they probably snuck one in, you know?
Nah, it looks like... it looks like the ghouls probably got that all the way there. We could see if there's like a handoff from Hounds in the Gash. No, it looked like it was just running, they just ran it all the way.
Well.
So yeah, I guess ghouls or, you know, all that did the work they needed to do. Congratulations there to the Undead team. The next fixture though hasn't been played. The human match between Animal and Rich's T hasn't been played yet. We're not. Someone will definitely tell us when that's happening. I'm sure that it's today. I think Rich's T has been like busy LARPing, which is what I heard from Jubstep. So maybe I don't know. We'll cover...
I hope it gets played at least.
Yeah, I don't want an admin win for this.
Yeah, it sucks when you have to admin it, but I really hope they can define a time today to play it.
definitely. We'll cover this next week, and
Yep.
I don't think there was anything we had to cover last week. I think everything was played. Because we did on the Wednesday. So
I'm gonna. Yeah. Everybody played last week.
got covered.
Nice week.
Okay, great, fantastic.
Because I'm cheating again, so I can
Cheating again. But I mean, yeah. We call being on top of things cheating here because it makes me feel less bad.
I mean, the setups are different. That's why.
Yeah, you have 2 monitors. I have 1, and currently my desk is covered in paint stuff, so I can't.
Yeah,
really,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoops.
It's all fine.
Yeah,
it's all fine now.
But the next game, a game we kind of predicted would happen as it did. Gestaruni, the Lizards, lost 1-0 to the Bretonians. That sickening, really, really good Bretonian team with its like double edge up blitzer.
Yeah.
It's Mighty Blow piling on. Although the Mighty Blow,
God.
the Mighty Blow, yeah, the guard as well. But the Mighty Blow piling on didn't really seem to do anything. I checked in the REBBL.net things. It got no Kazes. In fact, the edge up thing got more Kazes.
Jakes.
Seems like a fairly equal game in terms of KOs and injuries as well. Wasn't too one-sided.
Yep.
Yeah, it just looks like maybe Drastak managed to stall out a little bit on his own offense, and either didn't score, got it taken off of him, and therefore scores. And then because a 1-0, when you have the movement and the agility on both of these teams, like they do, the very fast skinks and the very fast and also agile blitzer. This to be a 1-0 is kind of surprising. I guess what the Bretonians just managed to do was stall out just enough and managed to get their touchdown. A very traditional game of Blood Bowl, in my view.
Yeah, very, very much so, I would say.
We had a bitter blow to Drastak, who started off strong, but this is kind of another like loss on the board.
Yeah.
The Bretonians going from strength to strength. You love to see that, considering Bretonians usually are a team that I consider not that great. They usually, all my Bretonian like mates who play Bretonians usually just have terrible seasons. One person I know is having a bad season, but that makes me all the happier that this Bretonian team is succeeding.
Yeah. So moving on to Boulder Plop, or Benny Boop.
Yeah,
I meant Benny Boop and my game.
Yeah, of course.
DICE did a thing, and I called it shenanigans and felt sorry for Benny. That's basically what happened.
You also killed an Orc, which is amazing for a team that's 1 elves and has no Mighty Blow.
Yeah. As I said, I called this game a bullshit game. I called DICE on it. And DICE just happened. I could do basically whatever it felt like. It was a dumb one.
Yeah, was he just like everything he tried, he just failed?
Yeah, it was one of those games.
Okay.
And trust me, he punched me around quite a bit, but my players wouldn't go down. I believe he punched one of my blodge blitzers around his ball carriers 9 times until he finally decided to punch with his ball carrier and then got a double skull.
Well, to be honest, yeah, like that is shenanigans, but that's the thing about the blitzers is that at a point you have to realize, okay, well, just punching things around is a bad idea. I have to manipulate the ball, like that blitzer to move in a certain way, so then I can like maybe free up a ball carrier, for example, free up a thing. Or sometimes you just don't even have to take the block. You just go, okay, well, hitting you, worst case scenario, is more common than like the best case scenario by far. So I had tournament games with Pro Elves where that just happened, where I managed to end up on the ball carrier. One diet stole the ball because they just couldn't stop hitting me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very valuable lesson to learn for going against Blodge.
It is. It is. And my team is kind of nasty as well at the moment, so we are doing fine.
Yeah, and that's a win on the board for you.
It is, and it's really important. But we will get to that when we check out the leaderboard.
Of course, yeah. But we now go on to our last game of the game week, which was Haramol versus Razil, yeah. And unfortunately, another loss for poor Razil. But then again, a decent win for the Dark Elves, who have had good fortune, bad fortune this season. The KOs and injuries, this sort of stuff from REBBL shows that I guess Mighty Blow is finally starting to do a little bit.
Yeah. And I mean, Armor 8 isn't the highest in the armor world as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And the same with Armor 9, it can break. It's just harder to break.
And Harmel definitely had a game where he broke a lot of armor. He killed the Black Orc. He injured 2 things as well. 2 KOs.
Yeah.
He did really pretty damn well for a Dark Elf team hitting against Orcs. Mostly armor 9. So although the KOs and Inflicted look nice on REBBL's, the problem is that when you injure 3 people, when you're going up against Orcs, that can kill a game for the Orcs straight up, because they won't be able to do their own offense, and their defense becomes a lot weaker, because let's say you injure Blitzers or even a linesman, 4 Black Orcs will get stranded.
Exactly.
Definitely. So, also 5 passes from the Dark Elf team is a statement. The SPP, very solid there from Harmel.
It's a really big statement that some shenanigans were going on there.
Yeah, definitely. But that's a great result there for the Dark Elves, and that concludes the roundup for Game Week 5. We can now go on to the teams and see what they all got. So once again, we have our list. We have our list. The first 3 teams don't have anything apart from your team, of course. You did actually pick up a catcher, though.
Yeah. So now we got a Sparky Pluggo.
And what will he pick up in his first skill? Are you going to go dodge, or will you think this is the time for wrestle?
This is the time for more dodge.
Okay.
No, but I don't know. It's hard because I don't personally like the wrestle tactic that much.
Okay.
So we will see if I will pick one up.
I'm a big.
I just hope for a guard.
That's fair enough. A guard catcher is also good, but I would say I'm a voice for wrestle, because I think 8 movement wrestle is just amazing.
Yeah.
And also it does protect it from being hit, because with dodge, it does the same thing in terms of probability of getting someone down. It affects those odds as much as like block and wrestle. Yeah. But with wrestle 1, you can force the piece to go in the ground and use up movement, while you can get away from that, definitely. And 2 gives you more a chance to hit on the offensive. I just feel like wrestle's a great pickup, but obviously
the thing that I want really bad is guard and mighty blow.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean,
so basically, I want him to roll a double, if possible, or a agi up, so I can just make a leap out of him. And those kind of the levels that you wish for any catcher to roll, basically.
Of course. Fingers crossed.
Because I got the strength up guy, it didn't happen immediately. So, but then again, he have his other uses. So there you go.
Absolutely. But the team hasn't grown this week apart from the catcher, but it's a very solid high pro elf team, and can do what he wants to do. And the next coach we have is Raz, and he's finally gotten some level ups, and he's gotten some decent ones all in all. He's picked up block on a linesman, which nice to have. More block is always great on an orc team, and he's picked up a strength on the Mighty Blow Blitzer Billy Bones, which that's really great, because an orc team with 5 force strength is unbeatable.
Yeah, it's super good.
The only issue with it is that it's still another game week without any guard. But I'm sure he won't be crying too much about that, considering it's strength.
No. Yeah. So I was last week, if you guys missed it, I was actually co-casting a game with Hummerstep, Sepp. The game between Andy Davo and Jimmy Fantastic, where Jimmy Fantastic had 8 strength 4 pieces, where 4 beastmen are strength up. Yeah.
I mean, Andy as well had like a lot of strength up on his team.
Both teams are done.
Yeah,
those
dumb
teams,
stat freak teams, definitely.
yeah, they both of them are just amazing. So, but it was a funny match. It was a
Yeah.
fun match.
And obviously the problem with Orcs is that you find at higher TVs is that some teams can match them in guard and also strength, but sometimes some teams can outkill them though. So more strength up is always like a big premium for the Orcs. So
Yeah,
not bad pickup. I think that Raz, hopefully his season turns around where he can get these important level ups while also getting wins on the board. The M&G to the Movement Blitzer is sad because it's just another game that he can't get any SPP on it.
Yeah.
But, you know, alright weak apart from the Dead Black Orc. Did he replace that? No, not yet.
I don't think he has the cash to do it.
He just needs 10k more. And that's like, it sucks losing a 2 SPP Black Orc, but they're so cheap.
It wasn't the block one.
Yeah, one, it's not block one, and two, they're so cheap anyway.
Yeah.
They're effective at the price point.
Exactly.
And next team, though, we have is Harmel, who did have a successful week this week.
Yep.
And also picked up some level ups. He picked up Wrestle
on a Witch.
Which is great. He needs that's a great sacking piece now in the making.
Yeah, and a block on that in guard player.
Yeah, which is very, very necessary. And now he has the decision whether or not he wants to get an 11th man.
Yeah.
He won't have 11 men for next week, definitely. He'll have 10 at most. But without anything apart from maybe a runner to pick up, it can either be get the runner or look to start making a bench.
Yeah. So there is a backstory behind that witch that is MNG'd or broken. What is it? It's an MNG. So because that happened, he decided that he is gonna do a thingamajiggy, which is called the foul, or I don't know if he had full description of the competition here. So he calls it REBBL GMAN 5 Sportsmanship Award. Okay, so the basis is that you need to respect foul on turn 16, and if you kill something, and if you have the most kills after week 6 and forward in the end of the season, you will get a shirt by him. A t-shirt.
Okay, that sounds like a nice competition to have.
Yeah, so at the moment, we are all equals. We start from 0 from week 6 and forward. And you can read the rules in the description. Shav will put a link there.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the initiatives from the division. This sounds like a fun one. With a reward from it as well. It's not just like a thing that's like a bit spiteful. It's more so like a thing where it's like, well, this is stuff on the table.
Yeah, exactly. And this thing is that he will take your foul and make it into the shirt as well.
He personalize it. I like that.
Yeah, so it's like if your Black Orc or your damn troll is fouling, you will have a damn freaking troll fouling on a shirt. It's amazing, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Follow this.
So
we need those deaths.
Which is like, even if you, for example, have like a game where you lose, it's 2-1 or 1-0, it's your turn 16, you can't do anything, you don't have the players for a one-turner, you don't know how to do a one-turner, the one-turner is really unlikely, you can just decide, well, I'm going to stomp on a nothing linesman or a loner to potentially get myself a nice garment. I think it's a fun initiative. So hats off to Harmel for adding to the division. Yeah,
it's super cool. Also, guys, a quick intercept from me as well. Don't forget to put bounties on the bounty board to just mark them off that you've done them. Currently, we have Benny Boo and Harmel, I believe it was, who has claimed 2 already. So as we stand at the moment, I will pay out €10 to the REBBL, which is going into the pockets of the winners, most likely. And it's like founding stuff like for example, the podcast, the streamers might get something if they really need something. It supports Rebel in the whole, and to claim it, you just put your name in the last line of the bounty board.
Yeah.
And you can scroll down to find all the bounties. You can even find the bounty that Animal put on my strength 4 dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he's too good and it's not fair.
Well, you know, he's a pro off. He breaks very easy. But yeah, absolutely. Everyone remember your bounties. It helps out the division or the league, as well as also being a good bit of fun.
Exactly.
Every YouTube video will have those in the description from here on in. And if I forget Dr. Hep, remember to whack me over the head and tell me, edit your descriptions.
Yeah, I will try to look at that.
Okay, next on we have Benny Boo's team, though. Moving back on to the team recaps.
Yeah.
I can't... Let me check my thing. Yeah, Benny did get level ups. Okay, fantastic. This team has, I believe he got guards on the Adjuplet, so I think that's...
He had that last week.
He had that? Okay, well, let's go back to the...
I know the thing that you don't. He's missing a versatile lineman.
Yeah.
And he gained a block on a Black Hawk.
Okay.
That's the two things that happened to his team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he got blocked on the Black Hawk. Well, that's a great pickup. And now he's so close to that, having blocked on all the Black Hawks. Benny's team, compared, like, what it looked like at the beginning of the season was like, you know, whatever. But now it looks amazing. All this block, Black Hawks are almost completely developed into their second level. The Troll rolled its doubles to, like, make it into a decent piece. And now you have a bunch of guard and even an Adjup. This is beautiful for the team.
Yeah. Sorry also, guys, for giving every team I'm facing a level up, it seems.
Well, I definitely think they'll kind of be angry that you gave this team a level up, because this team is scary.
Yeah, it seems like everybody who's facing me gets a nice level up.
Wow, they can cast all your elves, you know, you have loners that just SPP Pinatas.
True.
We move on now to Drastak, though, because wasn't too much to say about that team.
Yeah. God-forsaken Rasak, pick your damn skill ups, even though you're facing me.
Yeah. So I was obviously speaking to Dr. Hep before this all happened.
Before the recording, so to say.
And he said, well, he's gonna make you like sweat, and before he decides what he's gonna do, what he's gonna pick.
Yeah.
And you mentioned he might pick either block or he said tackle, or do you?
I said tackle.
You said tackle. You just think he's gonna take tackle.
I'm scared of tackle because, well, I'm elves.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough.
So he might make me sweat.
Yeah. I think it's just going to be block, because I think that's more efficient. Just like, don't take tackle. I know it's like very appealing, but against a bunch of other people in the league, it doesn't do anything. And also, like, it doesn't protect your piece from being hit at all, which is the advantage of block, or, you know, maybe it's a double. Even guard would be like a decent pickup here, just because it's more guard to outguard someone. But
or do as Medal says and pick tackle.
Don't.
If you listen into the Rebel Alliance podcast, they talked about these level up styles.
Or pick Almighty Blow first skill, because that just makes the Sauruses level up faster.
Right.
That's a smart. That's a tactic for big brain blow players.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Or make a catch Saurus. There you go.
That's not horrible. I've seen like Edge Up, catch, sure hand Sauruses and Croxigores.
It's existing in Rebel. It's super fun. He also picked up a Croxigore.
Oh, he got a Croxigore as well. Yep.
Yeah, it's a brand new Croxigore.
Yeah, that's good. The Croxigore is just necessary.
And with the 2 SPP, I can see that he bought it right before the last game. So it actually did do 1 casualty last game.
Yeah, which is good.
From 7 blocks. So
MVP range, and you know, but maybe it'll die, and maybe it'll never get a level up again.
Yeah, I hope to kill it. I hope that will be my foul target. I'm looking forward to it.
I don't think, unfortunately, Animal got anything in terms of level ups, because he hasn't played yet.
No.
What a shame. King Can got something. He did, yeah. So let's go into the undead team. He got Mighty Blow on the tackle blitz, on the tackle white.
Yep.
I think that's it.
So let's see if I can see something else. No,
No,
Mighty
it's just
Blow
that.
on the white.
Yeah, well, it's a killer now. That hurts.
Yep.
It hurts elves. It hurts skinks.
It hurts stuff in general.
Yeah, not much to say. It's a very big team, though. It's a very big team.
It's a big team, and it's a bit bloaty, I would say. But then again, he might foul like a crackhead with everybody. So
That's true. I mean, the ghouls that he has on that necessary, he needs to have all 4 ghouls. Maybe he could cut a zombie here or there. He's not going to be able to cut like a lot of TV out unless also he gets rid of the block dirty player zombie and that kind of thing.
yeah.
But this team will definitely be giving up wizards against certain teams. It's just he has to hope that everyone else grows at the same sort of pace as him in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, good white has mobile killing power, good amount of guards. This is a solid team.
This is a solid team. But next season, you guys gotta watch out for it if you get in the same day as him.
Absolutely. And now we move on to the scariest team in the division, which is Nebula's High Elves, which are once again a stupid team.
This is just a dumb team.
Well, to be honest, a lot of the blow actually is from he needs to cut his own treasury.
Yeah. He needs to cut his own treasury. He's probably rebuying that lineman that died. A block lineman apparently died last game.
Or he could get another catcher.
Or get his third catcher.
With a 20k difference between 2 pieces and one moves 8 movement.
Yeah.
Even with armor point traded off, I think that maybe like you have now your wrestle piece, your wrestle catcher, if he goes that route, or just gets a bunch of really effective catchers. He's got like a touchdown on that naked catcher, so it's going in the right direction now. I think I've shouted at him for like 2 or 3 consecutive things about like you need that catcher to level up.
And same with the Blodge Blitzer, which is also 1 touchdown away. Absolutely.
This is a team that once again has the potential to explode in SPP next game, and look even more scary.
It's looking scary for each game it just plays. So,
and with its record, it's just going strength to strength. So
it's showing that we underestimated him most likely.
Absolutely, we didn't know what kind of coach he was, and he's really like showing us up for that.
Yeah.
Let's see, did Mego get anything? No,
Mego got brand new werewolf.
He got a werewolf. Yeah, he got a werewolf.
Because the last one died.
He now has 11 players again. Wow. Amazing.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Watch, guys. You can rebuild teams.
You can, but he has played 9 games and he has 4 level ups. That's just a testament to how beaten this team has been.
Oh yeah, very much so.
So very unfortunate for Mego, but yeah, at least you have all of your positionals again, and next game you can pretty much almost guarantee yourself getting a zombie. Just give you 12, or a ghoul. You can get a ghoul down the line if you wanted to. That's what he's missing. He's got all the very important positionals, but the ghouls, which are like some people like to have 1, some people like to, have 2.
4.
Yeah, you can't have 4 on this team, unfortunately.
Oh, you're right. You can only have 2.
Yeah, but Mego's rebuilding. Well done, Mego, for like sticking with it and like not giving up.
Very much street cred to you.
Yeah, hopefully his hard work pays off in the end. And he gets like a few wins on his belt for the rest of the season. He gets some more development.
Exactly.
We go into Bolt Plops, Dark Elves. They have had a harder time in terms of the season.
Yeah, they have.
But I believe they got themselves a level up or 2. Let me just.
I can see 2 things.
Yeah.
A Agi up on the Witch Elf.
Yes.
Scary stuff. That's most likely incoming Leap Witch Elf. Watch out for that.
He said that in the chat. Like, here, Leap, here I come.
Yeah. Understandable. And then his wrestle lineman has been gotten rid of.
Yeah, he got niggled, and so that's dead.
Most likely died or fine.
Which is a, good decision. Well done for cutting the niggle. It's sad, but you got to do it.
It's hard to cut players, but you need to do it.
But this team now with like 2 5 edge, you know, you have a fast 5 edge piece. It gets leaping and then goes sacking, but still, either way, you have potential receivers. You have potential like, if everything goes wrong, this thing can run in the backfield and there's a pass when I have the perfect opportunity to at least like protect the ball, kind of. Ball plop will definitely have a better time, I think, here on in, because you now have a bunch of stat players and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
but
and that fresh witch elf got a level up. So 2 passes from her onto one of the Agile 5 guys, and the vanity pass from Heath Reel is something that you need to do.
Exactly, yeah. Vanity pass as soon as you can, ball plop, because that will get your team going again. But the good thing is that he's at 11 players. Like, he's got a full team. The team hasn't fallen apart. It's developing nicely. It's just that he hasn't been able to get the results that he's needed. And we also are blessed this week because finally we can cover Innovation's team. I'm sure he's been looking forward to this because he's been like, sorry guys, I haven't got any level ups. But now we can say he has like things on his team.
Mighty Blow.
He has Mighty Blow on the Pestigore, which is fantastic. So now it's Claw, Mighty Blow. Any team that faces him that's 8 armor and above should be rightfully scared. That's a very important pickup for him. And will change his game massively because now he can start to play games where he can at least leverage his strength and his disturbing presence and his foul appearance by also taking off players off the pitch.
Exactly, and 2 blocks, one on the Rotte and one on the Nurgle Warrior, is huge as well.
Yeah, definitely.
They will make a big impact in a Nurgle team like this.
And once again, a bunch of his pieces are like really close to leveling up, getting that. The MVP will level them, for example.
Yeah. So we will most likely see within the few games that are still to be played, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And we'll see a spike commence in this Nurgle team into a really scary Season 2 Nurgle team.
Absolutely. Like we said for kind of for Benny Boo at the beginning of the season, the team will explode in SPP at some point. You'll get your stand firm on your Beast and Nurgle. You'll get your block on your Nurgle Warriors, which you need. Your Pestigores will be developed, and you can start buying more ones and get rid of the Rotters as like the things you have to keep on the pitch. Good team.
Good team.
And for a final team of the week, we now have our newest player Zahu and his rats. He picked up two levels. One was a guard Storm Vermin, which is like quite necessary. That's orthodox. That's standard. And then he has a level up on the movement up Gut Runner, which he hasn't picked yet. And I've got a kind of suspicion why. It's because he's kind of in 2 minds about what he wants to get. Because one, do you get that block and protect it, or do you give that sprint and then just buy a bunch of linesmen and keep that on the bench all game until turn 8 and turn 16 and just score unassisted 1-turners?
Yeah, he might be in the rat chat or the sewers and being like, what should I pick?
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, there's like an ocean of options to routes to go.
Yeah. In my personal viewpoint, I think sprint is probably better.
Yeah.
Because he can pick up 2 linesmen already, have 12 men even with the MNG out.
Yep.
You keep this Ash linesman just to put on the thing, obviously. But you have 12 men. You can keep the Gut Runner on the pitch or off the pitch for at least the first drive 100%. And then when you have to score the 1-turner, boom, he's on the pitch. He scores it with just a bunch of 2+, 2+, 3+ here and there. Block, I know, is like a decent skill for keeping it alive, but when you have a movement up Gut Runner, a lot of the time you're not looking to field it. You're looking to like keep it off the pitch and just play with 3 Gut Runners. So I would definitely consider Zahu just buying your 2 linesmen now. Depending on what your schedule is this week, it could still get you like a wizard if you're playing downhill. It'll be a very trim TV still, either way. So we say sprint. We understand if you take block though. definitely take block, in my opinion, if you take something like that.
Yeah.
If it's a double, then maybe you can take something like 2 heads instead.
Yeah.
But otherwise, 100%, I would say sprint.
Okay, so here's a question for you.
Yep.
So if that's an agi up, would you take it?
Yeah, you take that if that's an agi up, definitely.
Okay.
Because it makes the one turner way easier.
Yeah, it does.
And also, if you really had to field it on like your offense where you're not either able to do the 2-turner or the 1-turner isn't easy, and you don't want to score in 1 turns or 2 turns, you want to like stall it out, that can just run around in the backfield. It can't be touched. It can get out of any situation it wants, throw ridiculous passes and score the same thing. So edge up is also a thing you could pick. You might even want to pick strength up, because strength up also keeps it alive on the pitch potentially. But I would also understand completely skipping strength up for the double, or skipping it for sprint. But if it's a normal, sprint for me.
Yeah.
But, scary team. Can't wait to see how it does in the next game week. And with that, we now end the team recap. And instead, we're going to do something that we haven't done for the last 5 weeks, because we haven't had the opportunity to. But now, finally, we can. Thank God. Because we can now look at the leaderboards. Because the leaderboards mean something. So,
they do.
we're now going to switch over to my display capture. Boom. Here are the standings for the current league.
Yeah.
At the top, the High Elves, 4-1-0, 5 touchdown difference, 13 points. Obviously not ahead by a massive margin. A loss and a win a win for the Bretonians and a loss from the High Elves can see that change. But everyone else would have to win twice, while Nabla doesn't pick up anything in the next 2 games.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and I would like to say that everybody that's above basically Rich's T and myself, and well, everybody except Rasil, except Rasil can still make the playoffs.
I think that making the top, like making the what's called the old playoffs, rather like that's kind of like for anyone who is below Rich's T right now. Rich's T obviously has a game in hand, so you can rock it up to King Khan's level and still be in contention quite easily. But if Rich's T loses, either because he loses next game or he loses because of the admin decision, then that is like everyone who is 5 or 4 points realistically will be expecting to maybe, if everything goes their way and they win all their fixtures, they're mainly going to be competing for the challenger spot, which is the second playoffs.
Which is the second playoff,
So we now kind of see, ahead of the pack, we see the teams who can still make normal playoffs quite easily, which I would say Harmal up to Nabla are all in contention, because those are only like 2-game margins of like wins and losses for the top and the people in the mid-table.
Exactly, and we got to remember here that Animal haven't played his week 5 game as well.
Yeah.
So he is gonna have another stat as well.
Exactly. So if he shoots up to 3rd place, which he could, that opens it even wider open.
And I must still say, guys, that we are fairly uneven division so far.
Absolutely, it's very tight.
It's a very tight division, and I speak of tight as both. It's very tight, guys. You're a very friendly bunch. And it's super tight in the points.
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously,
because we can skyrocket down those points up.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the only one who's kind of behind the pack is Raz. Raz can still make a very respectable showing over the course of the season while getting important development. I would say that 5 losses on the trot without any other points is kind of... I wouldn't hold out hope for winning the division, Raz, but don't take this as like, oh, everything's ruined now. You can still very much, 1, play for glory, and 2, play for
I
SPP.
mean, you can literally, I'm saying this out right, fuck up other guys' time to try to make playoffs.
Absolutely,
right? So you still have a big deal in the league because people still gonna face you.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. But
So.
in terms of predictions for like what did we say was going to be likely for who are our dark horses at the beginning of the season, who are our clear contenders?
Yeah.
Well, Benny Boo after like last 2 game weeks has kind of fallen off. Nabla has just gone from strength to strength. I'm quite surprised that the Bretonians are doing as well as they are, and the Richards T is kind of Richards T was like both of our dark horses of like, oh, he could really do well because he's a known human coach. We know him. He's obviously has a game in hand right now, but if that's not a win, he's fallen by the wayside a bit.
Yeah, he has. He has. I expected where I am in the spot that I am, as I'm playing a new race again for the 3rd time.
Yeah.
So. And we expected Innovation and Mego and myself, I guess, as the bottom 3 or 5 teams, bottom half teams. So there's no news to it, really.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
As Mego's team was beaten to pulp, and I'm not really setting too high of expectations for myself, as I play more for the fun part.
Fair play. But it's also worth pointing out as well, hats off to Zahyu, to Valkymerk and Nabla for being currently unbeaten.
Very much so.
So that was the leaderboards for this week. We'll now every week check in on those because it's important to. We'll now quickly go over who we think is going to win and who's going to lose in our predictions for next game week. We've hit 40 minutes, so we might as well just wrap this up quite quickly. First, we'll start off with the Skaven versus Haramul's Dark Elves. I think this is going to be kind of a game which can go either way, but now that we potentially have that natural one-turner Skaven piece, in addition also to Zahyu pulling out a win this game week, I would say I kind of fancy Zahyu to win this.
Same. It could also become a shootout very easily.
Yeah.
As me and Saran did, or Zahyu did.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but I will vote for Zahyu.
Definitely, as it's also worth pointing out that a wizard can definitely be gotten by the Skaven here.
Yeah.
So when that happens, and if that happens, that pushes over for me, definitely. Skaven, the 10 movement piece is just ridiculously good. We have a Orc mirror in the next matchup between Benny and Raz. And I have to be completely honest with you, as though I want, obviously, Raz to pick his first game to win. The fact is, this Orc team that he's facing has 2 guard, it has all of its blitzers, it has all of its black orcs, it has all that block. The troll is also on that team that has block as well. I can't put it past Benny Boo winning this one.
Yeah, same.
Definitely.
Sorry, Sil. I really hope you take the win from Benny, but the vote goes to Benny.
Definitely. We now have you versus the Lizards.
And this is a freaking arch nemesis match. For this is the 3rd season that we have faced off. I have faced one of his Lizard teams, and he has beaten me twice because of a fucking skink. This time he doesn't have that skink, so I'm pleased, but he still have like a good solid team.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I believe this will be like a 2-1 to him. I really wish that I
still very much have, because you have the 4 strength catcher and you can clear away Sauruses and do that and be quite fine with it. I would say that the only thing that doesn't make it clearly like I'm going to say that you have the chance to win this is purely the fact that the inducement game is not there, because equals in terms of TV. Mostly, I think that it's hard to call. I'm going to say a draw just because I can't really separate the 2 teams.
That's nice of you. That's nice of you.
I'm always the optimist for my co-host.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. Next game we have the Bretonians versus Animals Humans. This is kind of a hard game to predict because it's kind of like a human-esque matchup where they both have similar kinds of movement. But I would say that I favour the Bretonians more, kind of, purely because that Bretonian team has the piling on Mighty Blow, it has the two edge up blitzer, it has its own guard as well to compete with his guard. And even the ogre isn't so scary considering he has a bunch of Dauntless, yeah. So I would say, also on strength of how well Bretonians are doing,
yeah.
I would say Bretonians have the edge here, 2-1.
Yeah, I would say that they are gonna make a draw, and they're gonna just make a punch fest out of each other. That's what I believe.
Definitely, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
I would say for the next game, it's now Richard T. Humans versus King Can's Undead. This is a hard one to say. I haven't seen too much of Richard T. this season. We don't know what's going to go on with his last game, so we don't know what level up he's going to get. His team is looking pretty solid, though, for a human team.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the amount of fouling potential that the Hounds of Nagash have, in addition to... Let's look at his what's the word? His TV. He might be able to get something like a bribe, but at the same time, the fouling potential from the Hounds of Nagash is just devastating.
Yep.
I would give this to the Hounds of Nagash.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Rich T here.
Okay.
To win this, 2-1, somewhere around those lines.
Fair enough. Any particular reason?
No, not really. I just believe that Rich's team is better than the Undead team.
Fair enough.
I can see a fair point for Rich T even outguarding the Undead, and that means in some weird place, you know?
Yeah.
As they have this, the human team have one more guard. It's just as fast blitzes as the Undead. It can basically, the ogre can go base to base with the Undead or the mummies, and just punch if you'd like.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a snowball effect, and I wanna vote for Rich T here.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I see your point. The next game is a little bit more clear-cut, though. This is Nurgle versus the High Elves, and sorry to the Nurgle, I just think the High Elves are going to win, because... Yeah, although...
Well, they've won 4 games.
They won 4 games, drew 1. They have a bunch of blodge. They have edge up and move ups. So they even have there's even the realm of possibility where they can still throw despite stone presence because they're so fast that the gap between the stone presence and like the throwing distance means they can just be out of those anyway, unless Innovation's a really good way he places his stone presence, and even failing that, he can just run with the ball and get anywhere he wants, and it doesn't matter. There's just too much about the High Elf team to say that I favour this Nurgle team. I don't favour Nurgle teams in Season 1, even on the best matchups.
Yeah. I'm going to say that Innovation is going to take this 5-0 to Neverlector.
Okay. Fair enough.
The tackle rotter will do all the work, all the elf will lay dead on the pitch. Sorry, Innovation. I gotta give it.
No, he does have a tackle. Yeah, he does have that single tackle rotter, and there's nothing else on it. That might be good enough. You never know.
Yeah. Yokes around. Yokes apart.
Yeah, and our last.
Then we have Boulder Plop versus Mego. You can take this one as well.
I would say Boulder Plop probably takes this. Mego's team is just not developed enough.
I mean, we are looking at 260 T inducement.
Yeah, which is definitely chainy. You can get chainy and have not only a wrestle piece but also a frenzy strength piece. Yep. You also can hand off to him if you're like, I want to score and the wins are more important than like the 3 SPP.
Yeah, exactly.
Which for 2 teams like towards the bottom of the leaderboards, I wouldn't do that because you kind of want the SPP anyway. Especially if you are the necromantic team, you need the SPP more than the win because you're not gonna.
Especially Mego needs the SPP more than the win.
Yeah, definitely.
As this is his rebuild season.
But he could take Cheney, he could take a wizard and a bribe. He has a few options, but I still think that the amount of blodge on Bulgur Ravens and the 1 or 2 like nice little things on that team is enough to kind of tip the balance to make it like a 2-1.
Yeah.
But that is all of the predictions for next game week out of the way. And also brings us now to the end of the actual recap. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you, Dr. Hep, for once again coming on the show.
Yeah, it's no worries, no worries. It's always fun. It's always pleasant to be here.
Absolutely. We'll be back this time, hopefully next week as well. If all things are good. And
if we will remember it.
Exactly. True. We keep kind of forgetting until like the last day or two.
So behind the scenes, confirmation, guys. Me and Chav are just as bad at remembering doing this, and we goes at like Tuesday, Wednesday, and then like, dude, recap. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna blame a busy week of pub trips and partying for me as like why I haven't been on top. But yeah.
I'm just gonna blame that I'm just forgetting it.
Fair enough. I like having an excuse.
I'm being honest here.
But until then, thanks for everyone for tuning in. I hope all your games weeks go well. Hope you get your SPP and your development and your obviously your wins as well if you can help it. But until then, it's me signing out.
Yep, it's me signing out as well. See you guys around.